Hey guys, Ricochet here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to navigate the Abyssal Woods. So we start from the Forsaken Graveyard, which is where you will end up after you've come out of the Dark Light Catacombs. We will then follow it down to the next two sites of grace, and then we're going to get to Mydra's Manse. Now, this can be quite difficult to navigate. There are enemies here that if they see you, you're kind of fucked. They're not going to be able to do anything about it. You will just get rinsed, and the madness build-up is insane. There's not a lot you can do about it at all. I've tried rolling away from them, I've tried running away from them, and have had absolutely no success with that whatsoever. So, anyway, making our way through, we're going to go to the next site of grace. This bit is kind of okay, it's kind of self-explanatory. This is just kind of introducing you to the Abyssal Woods. I actually think this area is kind of cool, but a bit spooky. But all the enemies here are inflicted by Frenzied Flame. So if you get bitten by them, you get hit by them, then your madness meter will start to build up. So that is just something to be aware of. These signs here do heed their warnings, because it is absolutely true what they say. These enemies that you will encounter, and I'll show you as we go through, if you are seen by them, you are screwed, basically. Now, we're going to get the sites of grace so that you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning again. And then the next one, we're going to head towards the church. Again, this bit is fairly easy, aside from the fact that right about here you're going to get invaded. That invasion can be a little bit challenging. I didn't find it to be too bad. Once you've dealt with the invader, you'll be able to progress along this pathway. Just follow the pathway, really. You'll soon hit the church. That's pretty much what I did. Grab any loots on the way. If you want to fight the rats, you can. There are big rats that you'll have to fight. There's one coming up here. They're not that challenging. You can, in certain places, get overwhelmed. I have tried to take the best route so that you don't get overwhelmed by these, or they alert these enemies, which they can do. I actually got caught out a couple of times. So, just something to be aware of. I personally, as much as possible, the further you get into the Abyssal Woods, would avoid fighting them, just in case they do alert those enemies. But we're going to get to the church. There's another site of grace in here. There is also a spirit ash fragment, I believe. And just outside the church here is the map fragment for the Abyssal Woods area. So pick that up, into the church, grab the next site of grace. There we go, abandoned church. So grab this, round the back, I think it's round the back of this. Obviously I've done this area once already, but round the back here is a spirit ash fragment, I'm pretty sure. Obviously well needed. And we're going to follow through the markers that I've put down. This is kind of what I found to be the best route. I really don't think there is a singular best route, but it's the one that I found that was easiest for me. Again, we're going to come up to these enemies and you're going to see what I mean. There's absolutely nothing. You can't do any damage to them. When I first encountered them, I just kind of was like, oh shit, and I ran up, tried to do damage, and nothing. You just can't hit them, you can't do anything to them. So, like I said, prior to encountering these, you're welcome to sort of fight the rats off. They are, of course, worth runes if you need them, but, nothing significant you'll get from them. But honestly, nothing prepared me for what I was about to encounter. It it just blew me away. And I also tried to fight them with ranged weapons as well. And again, absolutely nothing. You just can't damage them. So just, you know, take that into consideration and don't get seen. It is as simple as that. There is so round these enemies that you're about to see, it's basically like a head of eyeballs. So frenzied flame head with loads of eyeballs. They're gonna see you unless you can sneak behind them. But around these enemies there is long grass, and that is the key to this. It's sneaking through the long grass and making sure that you stay hidden from them. I found that most of the time they come in pairs. So as long as you can get round them, and you'll be free to sort of continue. Now, I didn't find anything that was too significant throughout this area. There may well be. I haven't fully explored it. So again, that is something that you might feel free to do. But this is just a guide to get you through it, get the important sites of grace that are here, and to be able to get to Man's Manor, which is kind of a mini dungeon, and you'll fight a boss at the end of it. I myself will probably go on a bit of explore, see if there's any Erdtree fragments or anything like that. Like I said, I haven't found any yet. I found the Spirit Ash fragment, and that was it. But there may be something hidden in a cave that I haven't come across yet. But in all honesty, when I first did that, I kind of just wanted to get through it. Just find the best route, and then get a video out for you guys just to help you get through this area as quickly and as pain-free as possible. And it is easy to get turned around, especially coming up to these areas, because it darkens. So you're going to come to an area a bit later on. As you can see, it's fairly foggy ahead, and that's the area that we'll head into, and it is really, really difficult to see. So again, that's just something to be aware of. You know, you can use your torch or lamp to try and see a bit clearer. Doesn't actually help all that much, I will say. But here you go, here's the long grass, and you're going to see this enemy coming towards you now, and you'll see what I mean. These guys are as fucking nightmarish as they look. Stay in the long grass, and then you have to wait for an opportune moment. So once he passes, move on to the next bit of long grass, stay out of sight. That's the most important thing, is to stay well out of sight. And then you won't find them giving you any problems. Get past the first one here. And they're not quick either, guys. And then as you're coming up here, again, stay in the long grass as much as possible. There is another one off in the distance, as you can see. Now, the bits of long grass in front of me that you can see right now, they have these flowers that kind of sparkle. You'll see them. Now, from the testing that I've done, every time I walk into one of those, or did walk into one of those, it made a sound and they were on me. Those enemies were just on me straight away. So I have, again, I've given a route that avoids those as much as possible. You know, don't get too close to them. I think if they make that sound, they will know you're there. They will come straight to you, and you will probably die. In fact, it is 99% certain you will die. They are just not easy to escape. So again, you know, staying out of sight, staying behind the tree here. We're going to get past this guy, and then I think we've got a little bit of freedom for a while, and then we will run into some more. Now, I think the next, if I'm not mistaken, the next ones are a little bit more difficult because, again, it's like a foggy, dark area, and this just makes it that bit more challenging. And get my fucking words out. Sorry, guys. So you know, again, just be aware of that. Take your time. Follow the guide. I've tried to make it so that you can see these guys, so you're aware of them before you get to them. You know, if you are carrying a shit ton of runes and you're not able to level up yet, you don't want to be getting caught by these guys. So you can get through this light area fairly quickly. Again, I was a little bit careful around here because I just wasn't sure which tree they were sort of waiting around. I noticed one coming up, and I think it is it's either this next one or the one after. In the darkened area, I'll point it out when we get there. But again, just taking care. Crouch walk. That's another thing to just make sure you're crouch walking. So it isn't there. I think it's this next one we're about to see. Again, being very careful, make sure we're going in the right direction. It is very easy to get turned around, like I said. So, the enemy is just in front of us. Now, I don't know whether you saw that before I switched my lamp on, but he is there. He's behind this tree. So, again, just be really careful. Make sure that he's not, you know, too close. And then you should, with any luck, yeah, there you go, be able to escape and walk on. I did make a slight error further down. That was kind of my fault. But again, you'll see we can get past these enemies without, you know, without causing ourselves too much problem, as long as we are, you know, staying in the long grass, crouch walking. So this area lightens up now, and you're kind of free to run for a bit here. There isn't any of those guys waiting in the wings at this point. Big rat up on the hill coming up by the large tree. That's definitely one to be careful to avoid. Now the path there, you can go down that path. I would probably suggest you do, but you are going to get jumped by that rat, and there's a few others there. So there's a little bit of a mob. So just be aware of that. Of course, I got distracted by shiny somber smithing stone 7, and dropped in, and there's these guys here. So had to hide in the long grass and kind of wait. I also, honestly, had to go and get the post, so I sat in this grass for a lot longer than I probably should have done. But anyway, same principle. Just take your time. Wait till he turns his back, and then into the next one, and there we go. So they're reasonably close, and as long as you're staying silent, there's those flowers, then you'll be okay. Again, try not to get too close to those. I am absolutely certain that noise is what draws them as well. So, like I said, I've been careful to avoid them there. And then just follow it up behind this tree, and you should be good. You should be out of sight, and away you go. Now, I think that's the last of those enemies, to be fair. So once I get past this big tree, and I'm absolutely sure that we can proceed, just taking those markers off, not to confuse things. And then, yeah, there we go. So we're pretty much going to follow this all the way to the site of grace. And we're clear of those guys. And that's it. So that's those done. But we are going to come across some more enemies. They throw incantations at you. But again, I've shown you a way that you can get past these quite easily, quite comfortably. They're not horrendous if you approach them right. So just marking the way forward there, and we're going to get to Manse Manor, which is our next site of grace, and the boss area for this dungeon. And Manse Manor is actually pretty cool. Again, I wasn't overly a big fan of this when I first got into this, because I just came across these enemies that I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with these? I can't kill them, I can't... Obviously, you know, in the end, I realised that I had to sneak past them. I wasn't sure whether the long grass was actually going to cover me or not, you know, but it did, so that was, you know, that was a Brucey bonus. There we go. Not too much damage. Just get in there, twat these guys. Happy days. Collect any loot and drop down. So we're going to drop down, and we're going to go to the right. Now, if we stay right-ish here, we're not going to run into too much trouble, because there are plenty of those enemies around. And if you get, you know, if you aggro more than a few of them, you are gonna get overrun. There's no doubt about that. Their damage is quite hard to avoid, so you do have to be a little bit careful. But when you've got these ones here, you can just single them out and be on your merry way. We haven't aggroed the other guy, which is good, so we can sneak up and get behind this one, I believe, and dispatch him without him even knowing we were there. Job done. And follow the path up. So we're going to follow this path up, deal with anything at the top here, and then again we're going to drop down, but we're going to stick to the right. There are lots of these enemies down here, and there is a line of birds in front of Manse Manor. Now, I haven't tested this myself yet, but I believe that if you aggro those birds, it will aggro the entire area. So we're going to stick to the right so as not to do that. Just follow the tree around, and then once you get to the other side of this tree, you will see the manor appear in front of you. And again, sticking to the right. My own marker fooling me, thinking it was a fucking shiny, because I'm an idiot. But anyway, moving on. There's the manor, as you can see, looming in the background. And again, sticking to the right, so as not to aggro everything in the area. We're going to come up to the front door. You'll see those birds that I was talking about. There's a whole line of birds there, all Frenzy Flame. Now, I'll test it at some point, but I'm pretty sure that if we aggro those, then we're probably going to find ourselves in trouble. So there it is, guys, Manse Manor. I hope this guide will help you out. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe for future content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.